allocate to it because it can drive to a specific retailer, but it's doing it in the physical space. When we talk about the blending of this all, it's happening real time. The curveball that's happening for brands right now is TikTok because it's exploding right now. TikTok shops, lots of questions on it. And people are trying to understand what's the profit margin and where is it? I mean, they can convert there, but
Well,
is there also a halo effect?
what you're doing, to your point, is you're essentially, look, it's the youngest audience there is out there, right? In terms of social, basically, it's the youngest, most meaningful audience. The brands that I've seen that are doing this well, they're saying, you know what? I don't care about, I'm not even going to run a P&L for TikTok shop because guess what? I'm generating buzz on these young, you know, eyeballs with dollars, by the way, and they have a ton of purchasing power. They're saying, look at all the demand we generated to the buyer at Walmart, Target, Costco, Ulta, Sephora, and saying, look at what we just did with the customers that you are dying to get into your physical stores. Buy my product that, to your point, that was just invented a year ago, 18 months ago, and go knock off because retail shelf space is finite. Go kick out some legacy brand that's been just sort of languishing in your organization, kick them out and put me in because I will drive incremental traffic to your door. And that's I'd love to hear what you're hearing out there in that.
Yeah, I put that in like the CPG space where you have like an RX bar or now a David bar doing exactly that in the beauty space. So that would be in the traditional retailer because it's really TikTok is, it's really big in the beauty space where yes, you have the larger organizations that, oh, I want to protect content and brand and everything else. And they're trying to do it in an environment that is completely non-brand. I wouldn't say non-brand affiliated. That's not the right word. It's not like a traditional commercial. These are just authentic
No,
people talking about
this
product.
is foreign to a lot of these big brands, and like they come off as very wooden and very like inauthentic, and they can if they don't do it
But
right, the right
it's
people
the
involved
classic
in,
thing. They
yeah,
have the money. What do the little brands struggle with? They struggle with the financing or the cash to actually pay for as much content as needs to be produced. The big companies have all the cash, but they're saying we can't do it because might be off brand. And it's like there's no off brand on TikTok. The TikTok is its own brand. Right. And so you just have to accept that the content. So getting back a little bit around what's happening with TikTok shops and how brands should look at it is right now, there is money to be made there. Gobs and gobs of money randomly. If you've got the right product in the right category and the right number of affiliates that are promoting it right now, and you're setting up an affiliate link. So you're driving them and you're paying them for it. I'm not into the big influencers.
yep, exactly. By the way, so like the days of like the mega influencers, that is not what's resonating on there. It's a whole network of really, really interesting micro influencers, basically.
Right. That's exactly it. And you look at it from a marketing and an advertising channel that you will also make money on. Right? It's so funny because the same companies will still put ads in magazines where you have no attribution whatsoever. Right. But
But look, they've been doing it for in some cases 100 years, right?
yeah,
And you know this behind the curtain. There's reasons they do this stuff. It's relationships, and like some of these things will just never go away until these people retire out of these organizations. Like they're still just going to hold on to these things. I mean, in a prior life, I mean, we used to do the big, thick, glossy gatefolds, centerfolds, all that stuff. It was a relationship thing. We liked
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that buying role changes within advertising. Because if you go to like a merchandise buyer role as they become millennials and the older ones are aging out and the agencies that are there start to the older people, like traditional agencies, not the newer like Amazon ones, but your buyer broker relationship, both those groups are aging out and there's a new level and there's this new group that's coming in, which has got to, and it's great. But you're right. It's a completely different, they might not have ever been in the building and they don't need to be.
The challenge though, right? And I've seen the evolution of this as you have. You can do that, right? But they still need to in the product. Like they need to still be very, very close to the product because like if they're not, if they don't understand the product, the category, the audience, and the history of that product and how it got to market in the first place, they tend to not be that good at getting it placed in the right locations, digitally and physically, and then selling it through. we're in like yeah, to your point, like this sort of like new environment where yeah, maybe it's not going to be as much touchy feely as it used to be, but I'll tell you, the ones that get the product, and this just goes back a million years, that's never going to change.
Right. You can't just get your info from Amazon. Like, you're trying to, what are you going to put on store shelf? You can't just go to Amazon. And I think that was the thought for the longest time. I'm just going to look for the number one bestseller on Amazon, reach out to them and put on my store shelf. It's not going to work. I mean, in the random cases it could, but a lot of the number one bestsellers are kind of questionable. And I think